Alright, it's time to finally get this project wrapped up and get something planted down here. Came down yesterday and brush hogged it. Guy down the road brought his wheel loader down yesterday and pushed all the stump piles out back down into that ravine there. My plans of hauling a dozer down here got shot to shit, so that didn't end up happening. But I just wanted to bring the Mini down here and kind of sort through and make sure that I got all of the you know, snaggy breaky things that will tear up a piece of equipment. And then Shelly's gonna come down later and help me. We're gonna bring the loader tractor down here and pick up all the shit that's laying on top, and then see where that gets us, and hopefully come down here and chisel plow this afternoon. It's gonna depend on what the weather does. We got a chance of rain afternoon, albeit a slight one, but if it rains, it's not gonna hurt my feelings at all because we need rain. But anyhow, Teeter came down with me. She's hunting for bunnies because she knows they're down here. So yeah, that's where we're at. This would have been easier with a dozer, but tis what it is. This where I'm reaching into weeds and stuff and you don't necessarily know what's there. Like I said before, I am very allergic to poison ivy, and I don't want to go down that road this early in the summer. I like to not go down that road at all, but especially not this early in the summer. right, I'm most of the way down here. Shelly showed up and I had her run me back home to get the 1600, and I taught her how to run it, and I got her picking up sticks. So we gotta work on the not dumping the clutch part, which in her defense, that thing, the clutch is kind of closer to the bottom end, so if you're not used to it, it'll throw you off. And she doesn't really have any experience running tractors, so, but we'll get her there. Thunderstorm starting any time now, but I look at the radar and there's nothing. And there's a spot over like Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, over that way, but it ain't here yet. Everything we picked up on the first pass over. Well, now I guess the only thing to do is chisel plow it and see what else we pull up. So go ahead and drive up by the barn. She didn't do too bad for all intents and purposes. I basically just threw her on there, pointed at all the controls, said this is what they do, have fun. Who's pulling in here? Oh, that looks like it might be my cousin. Alrighty, here goes nothing. I shallowed up the plow, so we'll see how it goes. I think I might chisel it twice at 2 different angles. We'll see how it goes on the first try. I wish I had an offset disc disc. That's what would be perfect for this. put bias plies on it, be done with it, you'll be happy with it. But I priced out a set of Carlisle bias ply 18438. Those are $1,200 a tire. If I went with radial Firestone, not deep tread, just radial Firestone, I was looking at like 2,000 and something a tire. It's like, oh boy. And this thing is getting to the point where it does need tires. I got the 2 Firestones that are on it are really rough, which would be that one back there on your right, and then my right front dual. Those 2 are getting pretty sketchy. Everybody, when I was initially talking about this way back last winter, you better not work that. You're gonna rip the shanks off that chisel plow. Yeah, not if you're careful. It'll pull out whatever you want. That being said, I might need to go get the damn chainsaw to cut that thing out of there. Whoops. Yanked it right out of the ground though. Okay, I got my first pass done, pretty uneventful, other than I hooked that tree root that I showed you, and then I backed in, dropped back in, went 2 more feet and pulled out another one just like it, but didn't hurt nothing. So then they needed to get the hell out of that hole. So I'm gonna put the plow in the ground just a little deeper, not a lot, because obviously now that the ground's loosened up and the disc blades aren't trying. The problem with a straight gang chisel plow like this is if you're in hard ground, the blades will actually hold the plow up out of the ground. Now if you got like a white 435 or something along that line where all the coulters are mounted on individual spring shanks, those deal with hard ground a lot better. But we're gonna go just a little bit deeper. And hit it. I plowed it like this. Well, now we're gonna hit it like that. Try to drag as much, or drag as many of them stump holes shut as we can, and work it a little better. 2-speed to contend with, and you got the loader going on. Well, I am thoroughly impressed. Considering how it looked this morning when I got here, or for that matter, considering how it looked last winter when I picked it up and took on this project, that looks pretty damn good. It's pretty light. If there's any clay content up here, there ain't much. But it gets more clay in it where it dips off back on that hill. But for the most part, from up here at the front all the way to the top of that hill, this is about how it looks. So it's nice light dirt. Nice. That's sissy plowing right there. But next step gonna be to disc it. Probably disc it twice, once straight to level it out, once at an angle. Come back out here with the loader tractor, pick up another round of shit, disc it again straight, bring the mulcher out here, mulch it, because I don't know, we'll have to see how it looks when we get the shit picked up. I'm not so sure the field or the soil finisher is the best tool for this job. I think the mulcher will be better. But anyway, yeah, disc it twice, come back out here, pick up the rest of the shit, disc it again, mulch it, plant it. And I might just spread fertilizer on it after it's planted, because I doubt Helen is going to be open tomorrow. If the weather's nice, they might be. I would go down and get a load yet today, although they might be home already, or they might be done already down there. But even if I did, I don't want it sitting overnight in case this rain shows up. So, but anyway, before I come back and disc this, we gotta go take the loader tractor over and put a round bale out for Shelly, so I gotta do that. And I guess I can run the Mini back home, because I think, at least for this year, we are officially done with that out here. I'll have to hear in case I hooked any more stumps, but I didn't. I mean, if they were there, the chisel plow didn't find them. God, that looks good. I was not expecting it to look... I mean, that's... You can bear... I mean, it pulled this swale shut so good. You can't even tell where all the stump holes were. Granted, we'll find them again this fall, because stump holes take a long time to firm back up. So if we have a wet fall, that's the first thing the combine's going to fall into. Although with this type of dirt, I may be surprised. They may just be falling shut, and they may just stay shut. But anyway, we had to go get this stuff taken care of. So we will catch you guys here in a few hours. I'm hoping to at least get one pass over this tonight with a disc. So we'll be back. Okay, we're back. I almost put the disc behind the four-wheel drive, but T was sitting there in the driveway. I was like, you know what? We really haven't done any heavy drawbar work with it. Not that a 16-foot disc is heavy drawbar work for that thing, because before the overhaul, I was pulling a 24, or not a 24, a 22-footer with it. So, yeah. Figured we'd get the OT on the disc and see what we can do about setting these rings. Not that that's going to work it all that hard, but something's better than nothing. Probably going to run in third on this first pass so I can stay in the seat. Well, I'm gonna have to find something different to set the rings because I believe the appropriate term for that disc behind that tractor is it don't give a fuck. That was third over, which is roughly 6 miles an hour. I wasn't even running wide open. I was probably only running about 2100, and it wasn't even getting on the governor. The only time it even snorted was right up through here where it's sand and the disc could go down to the spools, and it was like, okay. God, I love that tractor. Don't get me wrong. A 1955 is in every respect a far superior tractor. The hydraulics are better, the ergonomics are better, the visibility's better, you sit up higher, the steering is better, everything is better on a 1955. But there's still something about a 1950T, and it's just like, yeah, this is a tractor. God, I love that thing. I don't care how much money I blew overhauling that engine. It was worth every penny. That really makes me want to get the pump done on the 1955 because you can tell there's a horsepower lag there. But all in good time. So anyway, I got this disc twice for the most part. So tomorrow we'll bring the 1600 back down and give it a good walkthrough. Now it'll be really easy to see the shit because it's all laying on top. Still not nearly as much there as I thought there'd be. I mean, this is beautiful ground. So, but I think we're gonna go ahead and make that a separate video. So I think I'm gonna let the T, it's gonna sit outside either way, because with the duals on it, the 66 is down where it normally sits. Everything's crammed in the barn, and that ain't got a spot, which up until an hour or so ago it was still hooked up to the planter. It wasn't going inside anyway. But regardless, if it's gonna sit outside, I need it down here tomorrow. This way I don't gotta fold the disc up. I'll just let her sit here. So anyway, with that being said, that's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one, which will be finally finishing up Plant 22.